Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our regular council meeting for Monday, April the 28th. Call the meeting to order at 6:31. And I would ask that if you're able, that you please stand for our. We would like to begin by respectfully acknowledging the town of Shelburne resides within the traditional territory and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, including the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, Chippewa, and the Deep River Tree Fires Confederacy. These traditional territories upon which we live, work, play, and learn are steeped in rich Indigenous history and traditions. And it is with this statement we declare to honor and respect the past and present connection of Indigenous peoples with this land, its waterways, and resources. Any operation of area interest. Okay. On to the minutes from the April 14th regular council meeting. If I move for a seconder to approve those, moved by Councillor Sample, seconded by Councillor Shardy. Any discussion? Here. Other question period. Any questions, Travis?
No, indeed.
Anything submitted?
No, it's okay.
All right, so we have one presentation this evening. We're joined by Sarah McRae from the County of Dufferin regarding the Better Homes program. Sarah,
Hi.
how you doing?
Good. Hi, everybody.
And Rebecca, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having us.
Just give me 1 second here. Don't have the same sharing options. Usually we're all in teams here and oh, this doesn't now work. Okay, well, we'll try something else here. Rebecca, actually, do you want to share your screen? Are you able to do that? Move the slides.
Yes, I will just.
Sorry, I think Zoom did an update here, so I don't have the settings I used to.
Yeah, just give me 1 second to open the slides. I think it will work.
Alice has them here if it's easier.
Yeah, if you could put them up there, that's right. I sent them in. We do have them.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sure, let's do it
Okay,
that way.
let's do it that way.
Thank you for that. So hi everybody, thanks. So I'm Sarah McRae, so I'm the manager of climate energy for Dufferin County. So Rebecca's going to do most of the talking tonight, but before passing it off to her to review some of the particulars of the program, I just wanted to kind of introduce you again to Better Homes program to you for those who haven't heard of it yet, and make the case about why the program is needed in Dufferin County and in Shelburne. Next slide, please. So Better Homes is a voluntary home energy reduction loan program that offers low or zero interest financing. And so what makes this one really unique is that the loan is secured against the property and is repaid through the owner's property tax bill. And so we'll get more into some of that, but that's essentially what the program is. So why do we need this in Dufferin? Most of Dufferin County relies, or much of it, not most of it, much of it relies on expensive fuel sources. So heating costs are high, especially in older homes, and particularly those on independent fuel. And so the program provides a way for residents to save money and improve their homes without needing to come up with the cash or the capital up front. So this is not a rebate program. So simply put, Better Homes Dufferin is a practical local solution to rising energy costs, and it really is supporting that energy affordability for homeowners. So we're here, not asking for any financial contribution, which may be music to your ears. We've already secured 7.5 million from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities to fully cover the cost of the program. So that includes from them 5 million in loans and 2.5 million in a full grant. And that covers all of the administration costs and incentives. So the county council also committed 3.75 million in recoverable loans, so bringing the total project value to just over 11 million, 11.25. So what we're asking for at this stage, just to be clear, is your support in enabling a local financing tool. So that's that LIC, or local improvement charge bylaw, that you should have a copy of. So since Dufferin County does not collect the taxes as the upper tier, this bylaw is only something that local municipalities have the authority to enact. Okay, we need to work together for the program to happen. So at this point, in order for FCM to actually give us any funds to further flush out more details, which we have a lot in place, but not everything, in order to get us to that next stage, we have to show proof that we have a bylaw in place to move forward. Next slide, please. And just some context here for Dufferin County, why here? So in 2022, we did a feasibility study. We actually found a lot of people in Dufferin County are disproportionately energy burdened, actually a lot higher than the national average, which is kind of surprising. And 18% experience energy poverty. So that by definition means that a household spends more than 6% of home energy, their income on home energy, which is, it can be a lot of money for people. We saw somewhere, depending on where they were, but $7,700 a year. And that was a few years ago. And that's only going to be going up. So we know that people need that type of relief. And this program is just another avenue to give them an option anyways to move forward. The other thing to mention, which I think is actually pretty exciting from like an economic development perspective, retrofitting homes not only helps lower the bills by the thousands, so that money stays in the community. At the same time, the retrofits create real jobs. So that means contractors, HVAC techs, and insulation specialists, energy advisors. So that means more local paychecks and money that actually stay in the community, which is, I think, a really exciting piece of this. Next slide. So just as I won't go through this in detail, but just looking at the numbers to give you an idea, and then this is for rural homes, but again, I think in older homes, it would be a very similar type of thing, depending on the home. But if you're looking at an annual cost of say $5,000, which I think that's actually what we see here, you can get a retrofit, a modest retrofit could actually be 50% savings. So then you're looking at $2,500 a year in savings. And there's a simple payback on the retrofit loan, which could be 8 to 12 years. The other part of this too is that we make it faster with federal grants and rebates, and provincial ones now too. The province has some out. These can be stacked. So homeowners will be coached through this with an energy coach we actually have for them. And so they'll actually be able to realize those savings on top of it all. So again, it would very much depend on what the retrofit looks like. But there's a way to optimize all of that to try to reduce the amount of cost there. And to remove barriers further, we can offer 0% interest for low-income households. So the loan is at 2.5%. That's set by FCM, not us. We're required to do that. But we can do 0% for low-income residents. So it was kind of just a quick overview. I'm going to hand it over to Rebecca, who's going to explain Clean Air Partnership's role in this, which is a big one, and the breakdown of kind of where the funding is coming from, and walk you through what a typical homeowner journey looks like, and asking kind of what we're asking from you guys, for residents. So Rebecca, take it away.
Thanks, Sarah. And we can go to the next slide, please. Yes, so I am Rebecca Daynard. I'm the manager of energy programs at the Clean Air Partnership. And more about that on the next slide. So the Clean Air Partnership is a registered charity, and we work with municipalities to help them design and implement their environmental plans. And Better Homes Ontario is a financing program that provides an opportunity for homeowners to retrofit their houses, as Sarah said. And we've been working with several municipalities, including Dufferin County, on this program since 2020, and Dufferin since 2021. So we've been at this a while. So we're really excited that it's finally ready to go. Next slide, please. So Sarah gave you a quick overview of what an LIC or a PACE program is. LIC is local improvement charge. PACE is property assessed clean energy. They're the same thing. That can be confusing having two names for the same thing, but we do. So there you go. This is roughly how the program works. So the homeowner applies to participate in the program. It's entirely homeowner driven. If somebody doesn't want to participate, they simply don't apply. The application is then screened to ensure that the person, the property, and the planned retrofits all qualify for the program. So some of those qualifications are some of the things that have yet to be developed, and we'll be working on that once we have some FCM funding in place to do that final stage of development. Then Dufferin County provides a low interest loan to the homeowner to undertake the retrofits, and this is recoverable debt for Dufferin County. There are pre and post energy assessments, which confirm that those energy savings have been achieved. And then the homeowner repays their loan through the property tax. And the loan remains attached to the property, not the person. So if they happen to sell their house or not be living there for whatever reason, they leave the loan behind, and that stays because the benefits stay with the house. So the loan remains with the house as well. Next, please. Okay, so Sarah also went over some of this. So we're hoping to launch this program in January of 2026, and it will run until December of 2029. So that window between now and January that's our window to finalize all of the details of how this program will roll out. We have the 8.75 million from FCM. Sorry, that's the total this loan to homeowners, partly some from FCM and some from Dufferin County. And we expect that to be able to address 300 homes with an average retrofit costing $30,000. That's just an estimate. The amount is fixed, but the number of homes may vary slightly depending on sort of what the retrofits that people want to do cost. Then there's also a $2.5 million in operating grants, which includes a loan loss reserve as well as incentives for homeowners. And that's where that 0% interest part comes in. And we're also incentivizing people to do really deep retrofits of their houses. And this is also pays for the energy coaching service, which helps the homeowner through the whole process so that they really can make the best choices for their home and for their finances. Next, please. So here's the quick overview of the program roles. So the homeowner applies for the program, and once they're approved, they choose which contractors they want to engage to do the work in their house. So that's between them and their contractor. The Windfall Ecology Center they provide energy coaching, and they have a wealth and breadth and depth of experience in working with customers. They do this all the time. So they're really very well versed in all of the available incentives and they've seen it all in terms of what kind of homes that they're going to be looking at. So they are providing that expertise. Then there's us, the Clean Air Partnership. We manage the contract with Windfall as well as all of the other program operations. So all of the program administration is run through us. And Dufferin County, they hold the funding with FCM, and then they loan the money to the qualified homeowners. So that's sort of how that works. Okay, next, please. So what do we need from the town of Shelburne? As Sarah was saying, in order for this program to go forward, there has to be a bylaw enabling these LIC charges to be applied to the homeowner. This is how we are going to recover those loans. And if we don't have the bylaw, then we can't loan them the money. So the FCM has put a rule in place that they need this bylaw to be passed before they go forward with any further funding. So that's one thing we got to do. Hopefully that is something that can be accomplished in the next few days and weeks. And then upon request, once the program is up and running, we would be asking the local municipality to confirm if taxes are good standing for participating homeowners. So we would have a established contact where we would come in and sort of ask, okay, is Joe Smith on 4th Street, is he got good taxes? And then we would get some information that way. And we need that because we don't have access to the tax information. So we need that from you guys. And then once the retrofit is complete, there's another bylaw to pass, and this is to actually attach the bylaw to each property, allowing the loan repayments to be collected through the property taxes. And you'll see that on the next slide. And then the final thing is to remit the payments to Dufferin County as they're collected. So the homeowner is going to pay their LIC loan with their property tax, and then that gets paid back to Dufferin, and then Dufferin can repay FCM. Okay, next please. So this is an example of a property bylaw. This is from Better Homes Kingston, a program that's been running for a number of years now. And this is the type of information that we would be providing to Shelburne about the homeowner. So we have their case file, the tax roll number, their address, the names of the property owners, how much they were funded for, the interest rate, if there's any other special admin fee or special charge, how long they have to repayment, and the annual payment. So Shelburne or Dufferin doesn't have to figure any of this out. It's just we need to put that amount to this roll number for this many years, and we have all that sorted out. So there should be no question about what needs to be done. Okay, next please. So these are some places where we'd love to have some input from the local municipalities if you would like to. So in some of this program development, so process creation, the forms and templates, a communication strategy, an inclusion strategy, risk management. So this is to just, if you would like to give us input on this will help make our program better and more suitable for your residents. We'd love to have some support in program promotions and communications when we've got the program ready to launch. We'd love if you would tell people about it. And then providing some ongoing program evaluation so we can continually improve the program and make it better for everybody. Next, please. So some questions. How many properties are you going to have to deal with over the course of the time? So it's designed for 50 to 100 homes per year, which is between 5 and 15 per municipality per year. There may be a few more on the front end of those sort of tax inquiries because there will be some attrition through the program. Not everybody who asks about the program will follow through to the full extent of getting the loan. But it's about 5 to 15 per municipality per year. And then how do you get the information about the participating properties? So we will be providing that information. It will include a draft bylaw, which is a template that we will have run by everybody, make sure that that's all good to begin with. And then, as you saw on the previous slide, the property owner's address, tax roll number, loan amount, amortization, interest rate, annual payment, all that stuff we will provide for you. And then how often do you have to do this bylaw thing? This all happens after the work has been completed by the homeowner. Nobody's waiting for this to happen before the work starts. So it really can be done in batches biannually. And it's just so to ensure that the taxes can start, the loan repayment can start being collected in the next fiscal year after the renovations are complete. Next, please. So here's the next steps. So we're looking to get these LIC enabling bylaws passed as soon as possible because that's the last barrier for FCM to release their initial payment. And then we'll be working on that process development, communication strategy and brand development, consulting with you and other stakeholders about some details of the program, website and communication materials, staff and contractor training, making sure everybody knows what they need to do. And then a program launch, as we said, in January of 2026. I believe that's it. If happy to take questions as you wish. This one's got, I know you put up the last slide there, but we can get into that if it's a lot of details. Happy to talk about it, but didn't want to overwhelm you.
Questions? Councilor Bernardo?
If the property goes in tax arrears, does the new purchaser or if it goes to tax sale, they will be informed that the loan is part of the issue along with our taxes in arrear. You're shaking your head, yes, Gary?
Through the mayor, yes, so under the Local Improvement Act, that this bylaw will authorize. It is given priority need status, so it's the same as collecting taxes.
Okay, so it just continues on, it doesn't matter if buy superior or it's the same on that particular property. That's the reason why the taxes are higher than properties around here.
Correct. And anyone buying the property can request that the loan be paid out. There's no stipulation on when it can be paid in full. So if the new owners don't want to take on that debt, they request that it be paid out at closing.
Yeah, it can be paid out in full at any time when, as you were saying, if the homeowner, even by the original homeowner, or at time of sale, if they want to pay it off, they got an inheritance or something else has changed and they just want to pay it off, they can do that at any point.
Strictly residential properties, that include apartment buildings, that includes, or this strictly homes.
At the moment, we're really thinking strictly homes. Just because of the complexity of an apartment building. You know, we don't want to be encouraging rent evictions where they, you know, put in new stuff and then put up the rent, and that just. So for now, most programs are just homes. You know, we're thinking, could we do it with a duplex or something fairly simple? But we really want to make sure that all the property owners have to be on the application so they all know what's going on. And if it's a tenant situation, that's one of the things we're working on developing. Like, is there any way to, because we definitely don't want to make this a thing where tenants are getting evicted or anything terrible like that. We just really want that not to happen.
I didn't quite hear you on the tenant situation, was it rental homes?
Rental homes are currently not in this is part of what we're seeing if we can work it for rental homes, but it's one of those nuts we haven't cracked yet in terms of, unless we can find a way to do it that protects the homeowner, we probably will need to have to exclude rental properties.
So in terms of the rollout and kind of the information campaign, I know you had mentioned that you're open to feedback and suggestions from local tier municipalities. Is the county going to take the lead on something though, and maybe send out draft materials for
Absolutely.
local staff to look at?
Yes, that's part of the reason we need that funding from FCN, is because we'll develop a lot of materials, we'll send them out, see what you think, get some feedback, make some changes, send them out again. Yes, there will be moments, and we'll give you once we have these passed, we'll bring everybody together for sort of a kickoff meeting, which will give you more of a schedule of how that launch process will happen.
I assume that the staff work is sort of minimal with regards to, and that it seems a lot to have to kind of follow the house and then, you know, make sure that they're being paid and it's being submitted to the county, and you know what I mean? So I guess if you got like a template and you can kind of just follow that, then it might not be so bad, but I don't know. So I assume that it's not too much work.
It's
staff?
not. There's yeah, so for sure we're gonna make it as easy as possible. There will definitely be templates to follow. Kingston, again, is another program who's done this. They did a really in-depth analysis about how much time it takes for staff for each person. And the roles that would be about like attaching the LIC to the tax roll, it's about half an hour per application of staff time. So
Okay,
it's
just
really
Keith
quite,
probably has more staff than we do.
right, but it's still just half an hour, right? Because it's distributed over more people. But the part that's
Right.
about the tax roll, like there's lots more work that's what we're doing largely, partially to take it off Dufferin County's plate, is we're doing a lot of that work, Dufferin's doing that work, Windfall Ecology Center is doing that work. So the only role is, we're trying to make it as easy and as little work as possible for the locals, because we recognize that you are not overburdened with staff time. Like,
Yes.
yes.
Carrie?
Thank you, through the mayor, just to add to that, our tax software is already set up to accommodate local improvement charge, yes. So once staff enters the information into the property tax account, the system will automatically generate the charge on their tax bill. And it will be due quarterly, the same, it'll appear on their tax bill and be due at the same time as the tax bill.
And it's just sort of, you kind of bring it up, I assume, right? So.
So that's similar as if we have a local improvement charge on the street
Correct,
for something that's being done, sidewalks or whatever.
correct.
So hypothetically, if somebody gets involved in this program and then they fall into tax arrears, I know in the instance of county and school board taxes, whether we collect them or not, we still have to remit their portion. Is this similar? That, I mean, even if we aren't collecting tax from the homeowner, do we have to pay back the loan repayment? Okay.
Good question. So it essentially, well, it's given priority lien status.
Yeah.
It's collected in the same manner as taxes, it becomes taxes. So, yes, we're carrying the debt through our taxes receivable, but ultimately we will get it.
It just could be kind of cash.
We also have there's a loan loss reserve built into the funding. So in the case, in the rare case that somebody does, it's very rare from experience of programs across the province, but if it does happen, there is a loan loss reserve to cover that. Now I don't know enough about the municipal finance and how that works, but that's the intention of that fund, is to cover the loss if there is any loan loss.
Interest on taxes and arrears, so we also collect interest on the local improvement in
Yes.
arrears plus. So other than the fact that might become cash flow, it actually adds to our cash, so to speak.
Okay. All right, anything else? So the bylaw appears a little later in the agenda, but we'll get to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you very much for your questions and your attention this evening.
Thank you both for the presentation and good luck with the rest of the roadshow.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
good night. Bye.
All right, next up is a proclamation and flag raising request for MS Awareness Month. And I see that we're joined by the MS ambassador, local ambassador, James Jackson. Who's been busy on a roadshow of his own. He was at county last Thursday. So I'll go ahead, James, and read the proclamation first, and then we'll talk about the flag raising. Whereas multiple sclerosis is a chronic, often disabling neurological disease affecting an estimated 1 in 400 Canadians and approximately 90,000 across the country. And whereas multiple sclerosis symptoms vary widely and may lead to problems with numbness, coordination, vision, and speech, as well as extreme fatigue and even paralysis. And whereas there is no known cause of, prevention of, or cure for MS, and whereas the MS Society of Canada is the only national organization in Canada that supports both MS research and services for people with MS and their families. Annual fundraising events such as the MS Block, MS Pike, and A&W Canada's Burgers to Beat MS campaign support programs to enhance the lives of people affected by MS and their families and support MS research in Canada. And whereas since 1948, the MS Society of Canada has contributed $200 million towards MS research and is grateful for the dedication and commitment of its supporters and volunteers that has made this possible. And whereas together we will find ways to enhance the quality of lives of people affected by MS and to find a cure to end MS. Now therefore, I, Mayor Wade Mills, and on behalf of council, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2025 as MS Awareness Month in the town of Shelburne. So the flag raising will be on Monday, May the 5th. That's this coming Monday at 10 a.m. right across the street. Can I have a mover and seconder just to approve that request? It was moved by Councillor Donato, seconded by Councillor Wagner. Favor? Carried. James, do you want to add any comments?
I actually just want to say thank you very much for doing this. Wow. Okay, I'm getting choked up. And I actually want to say thank you to Alice. What she added in there, I've never seen it added in there where together we will find ways to enhance the quality of lives with people affected with MS. I've never seen that added in before, and I want to say thank you very much. That's very touching. It is. It's amazing, and thank you very much, guys, for helping me bring the awareness to a disease that I call it a challenge, but some other people call it a curse. I just call it a challenge. That what does not kill you. So, I look forward to seeing you all, everybody on May 5th for the flag raising.
Okay, see you there, and thank you for everything that you continue to do to bring awareness for it.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you Monday.
Okay, sir.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. I just realized I missed the motion to receive the last presentation for Better Home Software. Can I send them for a second? Receive that, moved by Council Bichardi, second by Council Sample, all in favor? Carried.
We all must do.
Down. Okay. So it's my job. Council inquiries. Thank you. Thank you. Donato? Completely? Street sweeping?
Yeah,
How they go?
I know we're in zone 3 this week. Yeah, my wife sort of mentioned that to me.
Through your worship, yes, they are supposed to start tomorrow, in zone 3 south, so that's anything south of Main Street. Zone 1 and 2, zone 1, the west side and the north, and the east side and the north. Zone 3 is south, so.
And they're going to go all week, next week. Weather doesn't interfere with any of this, or is there gonna be also weather interferences?
Through your worship, yes, heavy rains will affect it. The truck picks up everything, so if it's picking up rainwater, it's just a waste of time and exercise and futility, and then it's just gonna wash everywhere once they go to dump the truck out. We have specified in the RFP to be complete by the end of May 31st, so. They're gonna circulate through the zones, a couple of different times, so they're gonna start with zone 3 and then move to the other zones, and then they'll circle back again. To try and catch anybody who may be parked on the roads, but we do have a lot of information on the website as well. Please do not park on the streets during the time, if you can help it, when the zone is being swept.
Do we still have to find it just out by the Esso and the store? Still have the sign there, right?
LED sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I want to hear down, can we be posting it on that as well?
Yes, okay.
It is posted on that as well? Yeah. And the reason I said that because Tuesday, apparently, or tomorrow, we're looking at some big weather coming in, and if they were sweeping, I'll probably sweeping on a day like that, then for that type of bad weather.
Yes, through your worship, they would have to postpone if that weather does come through. They're talking substantial winds, possible hail, or worse. So.
Yeah, okay.
All right, any other inquiries? No? Okay. All right, on to motions of bylaws. So the first is the bylaw that was on last meeting's agenda that we bumped over, and that's just to set the tax rate. Are there questions on that one? Have a mover and seconder for that, Donato, second by Councilor Campbell. Favor? Carried. All right, next one is the local improvement charge enabling bylaw, which relates to the presentation we just received, so that's what allows us to do that. So mover and seconder for that one, Councilor Bichardi. Thank you. Questions on that? All right, the next one is the first quarter 2025 financial report. Carries anything special there that you want to highlight?
Thank you, and through the mayor, I just wanted to point out, there is one section that requires council's approval, and that is the placement of the additional savings for the OPP contract into a special reserve that we did discuss this at budget time last fall, and the information came out right as we were adopting our budget. So at that point, we did verbally discuss it, and it was agreed that once we received the actual billing statement, so that we knew for sure what our actual savings was going to be, that we would bring this back for a motion to remove that money into separate reserve from in the report, we talk about putting the 1.8 million into a restricted reserve. So this would be an additional reserve, just specifically to cover any increases that we may see in the OPP billing statements going forward. Because we know that they reduced it for 2025, but ultimately they're going to collect it from us eventually. So if we put that into a reserve, then next year when we get our statement, we've got a little bit of money to help back the tax. So that's the only addition to the motion. Other than that, it's the regular quarterly report, and it also includes the tenders that we've awarded so far this year.
So the motion will be to receive the report and then to authorize staff to place the additional $284,436 in the new and separate OPP contract reserve to be used as tax stabilization for future reconciliations. Over a second for Councillor Sample. Second by Councillor Chardon. All in favor? Next is a report from our clerk regarding the 2026 election. Well, for the voting time.
Thank you. Through your worship, seems relevant to be discussing this today. Considering everybody thought they would come here and vote for the federal election today. So the premise of this report is to approve an alternative voting method, being telephone and internet voting in the absence of offering paper ballots. This is a legislative requirement under the Municipal Elections Act. The voting period for the 2026 municipal election will be 1 week, effective October 16th through to election day, which is Monday, October 26th, 2026. So most folks feel the need to attend a polling station. So we will be here. We will be open the Saturdays, 2 Saturdays before election day. We'll be open late, and they'll be able to still come here, utilize an iPad for voting purposes. So you will see, as we progress towards election day, staff will be bringing forward more information reports to council that itemize, process, what the voter cards will look like. So the next steps after this, we will be entering into an agreement with IntelliVote, the same service provider we've used in the last 2 elections. So the interesting to note, the 2010 and the 2014 elections were paper ballots, and the voter turnouts were dismal. It was 21%. So there is an 18% increase in voter turnout by offering an alternative method. This means they can vote anywhere, anytime, anywhere. If they're on vacation in Germany, they can vote. Well, happy to take any questions if you have any.
All right, so this will be the 3rd cycle?
This is the 3rd cycle.
I couldn't remember if it was doing 3rd or 4th. Questions? It's, same thing that everybody's been used to. It's just, as Jennifer said, we have to authorize it for each election. That helps. Okay. All right, and I have a motion then to receive the report to authorize the use of an alternative voting method, which for us is going to be telephone use and internet. And for the reading and enacting of the bylaw to authorize that. Deputy Mayor Hall, Councilor, all in favor? Great. All right, then we have a couple of requests for waiving of fees. The first one is for the use of Jack Downing Park by the Orangeville Food Bank. And I guess the requested amount was out to $1,033. Thoughts on that? Willingness to support it?
And everything, we can use it.
Yeah.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We use it all back in the months.
Do they have to provide insurance?
And they get a permit.
Yeah, you know, the right.
All things are supposed to do.
We've got, they've been there for the past, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, was last year the first year they?
That's true.
Yeah, yeah, because before that they were at the skiers.
Nice.
That's something that you're not. Got it. Where am I? I'm getting old. Like, it was there, and I was gonna ask it and then just disappears.
All right, yeah, so the motion is to approve that and then direct this future requests actually go to the community grant funding program.
That's what it was, I was gonna ask.
Move for a second, Councilor Sample, second by Councilor Bernardo. Favor? All right, and the next one is from the high school, looking to use the Natasha Patterson Pavilion. Is that for a sporting event? Right, yeah, we did that last year as well, so.
Yeah.
And the cost on that was just under $100, so. Normally we make that one, Councilor Bernardo. Second by Councilor Sherry, all in favor? Carried. Okay, notice of
Yeah, I have one.
Councilor Hinder.
Okay, so we had a little discussion on this, and obviously this is just to read it in quickly and then we'll decide on it. Next meeting, so I don't want to go into any details about it, because I guess I will talk to it next meeting. So it's just regarding the strong mayor's powers that were recently granted to us and some other municipalities. It's been in the for a while now, but we just recently got in. So whereas the province announced expansion of strong mayor powers to an additional 169 municipalities, which includes the town of Shelburne, to take effect on May 1st, 2025. And whereas the purpose of strong mayor powers is to accelerate the delivery of key provincial priorities, building 1.5 million new homes by December 31st, 2030, constructing and maintaining infrastructure to support housing, including transit, roads, utilities, and servicing, and reduce red tape. And where the Association of Municipal Managers, Clerks, and Treasurers of Ontario has identified that no research exists to support the impact of housing development within municipalities, having been granted the strong mayor's power. And whereas strong mayor powers blurs the political administrative authority between the roles of head of council and chief administration officer. And whereas the strong mayor's power is an erosion to the democratic process, historical to the very fabric of Canadian municipal governance. Now therefore, the council of the town of Shelburne hereby respectfully requests the strong mayor's powers granted to it and rejects the strong mayor's power. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Rejects the strong mayor powers granted to it and requests that the province repeal the legislation or offers as an option and the ability for a municipality to opt out of the legislature. And that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Premier Doug Ford, MPP Sylvia Jones Amo, and all other municipalities. That's all.
Stop on the next agenda.
Yeah.
The staff is planning a break for well, so it'll be fine. Good. Yeah. Any other notices? No. Okay. Communications.
It's number 4, which is other municipalities rejecting and passing some of the motions, the letters. There were not the only one involved in this protest.
And I figured like we could have just
Supported the
supported the
letter. Yeah.
letters,
Well,
but
yeah.
I kind of feel like sending a motion is maybe a little stronger. Will it do anything? I don't know, but that's what we're here for, right?
No,
We're
absolutely.
supposed to
Agreed.
kind of put our voices into something that has some holding power.
No, agreed. Good. Anything else? I would just mention that the first item there, the fire department's annual report, I mean, there's some interesting stuff in there, if you haven't had a chance to take a quick look through the chief put that together this year, it's just some interesting reading. Those who aren't on the fire board don't get to see that stuff on a monthly basis. It's a busy little fire service.
It's true. I hear them all the time.
Yeah, and today's, today there is a place.
I hear them all the time.
We were both at the firefighter appreciation dinner Saturday night. It was nice to do that, and one of the things I noticed, which I kind of knew, but see it visually, we have a lot of really young people on the service, which is nice. So, I mean, there's a good mix, but I think some areas are struggling with recruitment. And that's clearly not an issue here, so it's lots of young people that are eager to get involved and seem to be playing a pretty active role, so.
Yeah.
So with that. For, yeah, they have a report coming.
Yeah.
Yes. May,
I think that was the plan, second meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
second May.
Yeah.
The fire league used to recommend do souls when they have certain priorities to meetings. And I like to see that over, so why I'm good. That. The other objective, we also should be well aware of what the, and well, hopefully, possibly also the.
Yeah, well, fire hall is something that's.
Well, the fire hall is one, but beyond the fire hall, there's usually equipment, other items.
But one of the focus items of this one right now is even the municipalities understanding level of this. And I think that quite a few municipalities don't clearly understand what levels of service really and wrapping minds around what that means and what the cost comes with local service.
That was an argument we had anytime a fire board regards to level of service and. Council will be pretty good at understanding about the service, understanding the roles and our needs, especially when. What I used to remind councillors is at the end of the day, they are the ones that are responsible. They are the ones that are very potential lawsuits, right? That's what happens in firewall. You know, that's talk about help maybe. Clear level of service that they have to provide. Sometimes I agree with you.
All right, anything else, correspondence? No. I have a motion and to receive those items, Councilor Sample, second by Councilor Sherry. In favor? Carried. No closed session, confirming bylaw. Councilor Wagner, seconded by Councilor Hall, all in favor? And a motion to adjourn at 7:20, Councilor Bernardo. Seconded by Councilor Wagner. All in favor?